So I just have a couple poems to read, and the theme is around Day of the Dead and people who have been close to me, one of whom I actually only met once, and that is my grandfather. This piece over here goes with this poem, and quickly the story behind it is in my birthday, April 30th, 1979, I was being born in the hospital where my grandfather was dying of cancer. So I was brought downstairs as a newborn, and we had this moment of connection. And so the idea for this piece is sort of the portal between worlds, and one soul on its way out as the other is on its way in. Touched, April 30th, 1979. One morning we touched. I never got to know you. My birth, your death, entwined like woven threads. I clutched a tiny hand around your finger. Life clinging to life, just hanging on. I wish I could remember, but my body grown is that same body. Slow to learn, slower to forget. The stories sketch it, my mind fills it in, that moment of connection. Grandpa Eddie, the loss of you, the birth of me, it had to be that way. It was my mother ripped apart, my head pushing through, her father slipping away. My heart, knowing death from first day of life, hopes, Grandpa, you're with me, a baby in your arms, and wonders, will I find you one day, in the mirror, with Argyle socks, big smile for the Irish, or young on a Japanese porch at war? So there are kind of two ways that the family talks about that one. Either he was hanging on and waiting for me, or it only took one look and he was like, peace. And one person who, I was too young to really experience that as a conscious being, but I had felt a lot of empathy for my mother and what that must have been like for her to have this huge emotional high and low at the same time. So Grandpa Eddie's wife, my grandmother, stuck around for another 29 years, and right around the time of my wedding, she was hanging on for one last big party before she took her leave. So this is just something to give you an idea of the mood and what I was going through at that time. An immodest proposal. The girl was hard-trodden. I did a Bob Dole and wrote this in the third person. The girl was hard-trodden. Her path had led her across continents and oceans. She had fought her way through skyscraper forests, sheltered in flamenco caves, and sojourned under the wing of a dragon. The boy was heart-weary with waiting for the girl to settle her feet, for the flames inside her to yield to the fire between them. He did not know that up in the icy ranges of the north it had already happened. Each day they spent apart, the girl became more sure that while she could live without him, she really preferred not to. She cradled her intention, named it, and put it away, waiting for a sign. It came on a winter evening. The boy and girl sat together on a bench between worlds, surrounded by red and pink camellia and purple trumpet vine. The bird bath perched under the maytens in a sea of ground cover, and climbing rose stretched on the lattice above. The girl saw her saint-guarded childhood window, shut with drapes drawn, and as she looked up at the boy, she felt her love for him like a warm mist all around her. She brought her intention out from hiding and showed it to him. Mikey, she said, you make me so happy. Mikey, I want to be with you always. Mikey, will you marry me? She watched the words transform him, surprise and unmistakably joy radiating from his blue eyes as he turned and smiled. He had chased her to the ends of the earth, sacrificed countless desires to be with her once more, and always she had found new ways to run. But now, he could see as he caressed her hand and searched her face, the chase was finally over. So, our wedding ended up being the last time that I saw my grandmother, and as I was in my dress, and she was leaving before the dinner. She said to me, "How can I say goodbye to this?" And that was pretty much the last thing that she ever said to me. So a month later, she passed away. And this was my emotional low after that. And I had just gotten to Tucson. Ledge over wilderness of rocks. Mind is a quarry full of ledges, peaks in the distance, drop-offs, from which I dangle a yearning over glistening pine, charred branches in morning breeze. I look for you, Magaw, even here, even as moss-stained granite turns to glass, clear skies to cataracts. Here, high above desert floor, I search for you, my heart a quarry, this pocket of verdancy, another landscape of loss.